Hello and welcome, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading for July 2020 or timeless whenever you are watching this. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mel for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, and actually brother of a Scorpio. My brother Matt is a Scorpio sun sign because he's Matthew, I'm Mark. If my parents had stayed married, there probably would have been Luke and John, and God forbid they were girls. That's just straight up child abuse. But that being said, if you are new to my channel, please do consider liking, subscribing, following along on my YouTube journey, getting stronger and stronger every day with all of that. Feel free to comment and hit the notification bell and all that stuff you're supposed to do on YouTube. Help me get my work out there. Greatly appreciated for my subscribers and my friends out there. Thank you so much for following along. These readings keep getting better and better for me in terms of the process and the product. So I'm growing and evolving, and you keep watching, you'll keep seeing that happen. We are doing a Path of True Love read today for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, Scorpios. Path of True Love is your spiritual path, your hero's journey, your healing journey, but through your relationships. I mean, it's all holographic, but it's sort of like snapping on the lens of the love in your life through your relationships, not just your romantic sexual, but there have been a number of these readings of the series that have been, because the decks that I use, they can say that when that needs to be indicated, but just because it doesn't say it doesn't mean it's not romantic sexual either. But keep in mind, this is your path. So even if no court cards come up and none of that stuff is there, it's still about you becoming the true love that you are, divine love, fully incarnate. So it's sort of like a spiritual growth read. But, you know, aside from the twin flames and the soul contracts and all that other stuff, it all comes down to you, right? You're the one who needs more love, not less. It's just the way it goes on the path. So, we're doing an augmented Celtic cross spread, 24 cards. Celtic cross only has 10 positions, but you'll see how I do it as we go along to get you some clarity, some guidance, and grace. This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what does not. Check your other signs. They're running around 50 minutes, give or take. Some 58, some 52, around there. But we're going where my pantheons guide me on this. Cool. So I'm going to start with one card from the Caroline Myss archetype deck to represent either you, someone you are dealing with on the path of true love, or some aspect, some situation you find yourself in on true love's path. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. Go have a look-see-dooksy. Let's do this. As well as there are some links in the description box about true love and what it is and my take on it and all that as well. So let's dive in. Here we go. Oh, I feel ya. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the Path of True Love for July 2020 or timeless, whenever they're supposed to watch this. Please, what is the dominant archetype in play? The soul power being alchemized from lead to gold, from shadow to light, from toxic to healthy. On the path of true love for this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. It can be them, it can be somebody else, it can be a situation, it can be all of that, it can be any combination of any of that. So please, my collective pantheons, what is the dominant archetype going on here? Wow, well, isn't this interesting? Now, it is a masculine family archetype. There are 9 different families of archetype: masculine, feminine, survival, on and on and on and on. Here we're looking at the prince archetype. Now I have the prince archetype, like strong, what's called chronos, which means since birth, time, right? I'm a prince in my family. I call my mom and my stepfather Hera and Zeus for a purpose. And that was, well, I was still studying Jungian psychology at the time when I named them that, because it was just so obvious, right? So I'm sort of a prince in that sense. You know, this is Prince Charming, but it's also the Prince of Darkness, right? So it's neutral. The shadow attribute, if you will, using power for self-aggrandizement. And what is self-aggrandizement? To make yourself larger than you actually are. It's not the natural grandeur of the soul, it's the grandiosity of the ego and the personality and the toxicity and the wounds that you're trying to cover up. It's just no bueno. It's just not good. I know, I have the archetype. Trust me, I know. Plus, I'm Leo rising. Can you you imagine? See, I have the Prince Charming archetype, but it mostly works on women. And I'm gay. It's like so unfair. Like that's a karmic payback, probably, if anything ever was. The light attribute, romantic charm and potential for power, right? Like the Prince has the potential for power, and it's something that I've dealt with my whole life. It's like I have this great potential, but in other areas, in other archetypes, I have the king. When it comes to me being a teacher, I have the king and I have the king and teacher together in my 9th house. So archetypes are fascinating that way. Now, this might be you, this might be a prince that you're dealing with, or it might be that you're in a situation that there's a lot of romantic charm and a potential for power, but then there's also the potentiality of self-aggrandizement. Not necessarily authenticity. Yeah. Okay, so before we hit that Celtic cross, we're going to get you a Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angels card, sort of like the angel that's walking with you on this, right? Sort of your little angelic buddy, my Scorpios, your little underworld lights guiding you along. Breathe. Oh, hi. Oh, hello, my angels and my archangels. I know it's been a busy morning. One card in clarity, please, for the Scorpio Collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. What do you got for this these Scorpios, July 2020? Or Timeless, what is the healing angel walking with them to help them with this Prince archetype, regardless of whether it's theirs, somebody else's, the situation they're in, or all of that. And the side of fries, retreat, Scorpio. The angel of retreat will help you retreat and then show you what to do when you get there. Now, this is part of self-care. I don't get this is running away. This is a tactical retreat. This is more like a taking space. Taking space is really what retreat is about. Now, space for what? Space so that you can feel what you're feeling without being witnessed, right? And once you've got that physical boundary in place, bathroom door with a lock on it sometimes is all you got. And you can say to people, look, I'm just processing through some stuff. I just need some time and space with everything going on planet Earth. Anybody who doesn't give you space for that has got issues. Just saying. With what we're all going through, they just got issues. So there's something here about really needing to take space for yourself. But then once you've established that, this is what the angels are giving me, you then need to give yourself space to actually feel what you're feeling without the fear of repercussion as the emotions pass through you, right? Just don't act on them. I gotta tell you, they're showing me the image because I've done this hundreds of times. One of the things I do, because I'm a Pisces moon, and moon's in Pisces while I'm doing this. Great fun. Busy morning, busy couple of days, empathing the world and people losing it, right? Dolphin or shark, both. I go in my bathroom. I live alone, so I don't have to lock the bathroom door. My cats don't like water, so that's a moot point. I turn on the shower and I sit in the bathtub and I just let it out. I just let the water come down and through me. And at that point, it's such a sacred process of healing and release, healing by water, that to me, it all becomes a holy thing. So it's like showering with holy water. And you can bless the spout too. Done. Potion witch. Yeah, just a little drop of essential oil on top of the thing with a little blessing spell. Yeah. I'm really good at what I do. Breathe. All right, Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Here we go. 10 positions. Celtic Cross, one of my favorite spreads. And really, it's not like I came up with it. It's really probably one of the oldest spreads aside from Past, Present, Future, or, a cut of the cards. We're going to look from the eagle eye view, sort of like a GPS. My gods and goddesses, you ready? Let's do this. Oh, Hades and Poseidon, I'm feeling you, my darlings, the brothers, please, my gods and goddesses. 10 cards, Daughters of the Moon Tarot, Celtic Cross spread for the Scorpio Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for July 2020. When you're ready, please let me know. I'll start pulling them one at a time and calling them out by position. There's also a link in the description box about how I read the Celtic Cross, what the positions mean in the order and all that. I keep forgetting to say that. Oh, I can wait. There we go. Okay, ready? Here we go. My gods, please, what is the card that covers this Scorpio on the path? What crosses this Scorpio on the path? What's at the core of the path for this Scorpio? Whoop. I love sound effects. What is behind this Scorpio on the path? What crowns this Scorpio on the path? What is before this Scorpio on the path? What what is the energy is really smooth and high all of a sudden. What's the lesson on the path? What does their path look like from the world, the outside looking in? What is their highest destiny available on or what's going on for them on the hero's journey in terms of their destiny manifesting on the path, and considering the current timeline and lifetime, what is their most probable outcome? Deck drop. Let's do this, but we're going to go one at a time. We're going to clarify with the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Not the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Yeah, half the deck is the suit of problem, right? To let you know what the problem is on the path of true love in this case. And I think that's extremely helpful to know. But then again, I'm a Virgo, so why wouldn't I? The rest of the deck is the suit of luck, the suit of healing, and the suit of grace. So these are really, really powerful ways to clarify this particular type of spread. Breathe. My Ascended Masters, please, will you help me? I'll call them out one at a time as we go for this Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love, July 2020, or timeless. Let's do this. What is the card that covers you? The card that covers you is the Ten of Blades. Now, the Ten of Swords, we usually have that grisly image from the Rider-Waite Tarot, right? Face down in the mud, 10 swords in your back. People immediately jump to betrayal. I'm like, that's so literal. No, it's so literal. No, that means resolution. It's like, it's done. This is a different kind of resolution. This is all of the different pieces of the puzzle coming to the table, all of the different voices in the tribe being heard, right? And maybe these are internal voices. Maybe these are different belief systems that you are putting together, different mental pieces for you right now. And maybe truth is coming to light, but it's been a process. It hasn't been like a tower card being struck by lightning, light and truth being one and the same. So what is the card that, my masters, what is the card to clarify this? A piece of luck, a piece of the problem, a piece of healing, or a piece of grace, please, my Ascended Masters. Oh, well, we're off to the races, the erotic. Okay, so this is a Scorpio read, I'm going to say, and with the prince and the romantic charm, but maybe you are in retreat. But trust me, honey, I'm still sequestering in place for the most part. But, you know, if you have proof of your health status in certain aspects I'm not allowed to talk about on YouTube, you're welcome to come over and you can wear a mask. I got over it. Yeah, the erotic. Now, if you're completely isolated, then really opportunity for Tantra here, particularly for you to have a different point of view, look, or mental resolution about your own erotic life, your own erotic energy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic life, or healthy, you know, like it's and I understand people who've been isolated for a really long time might be really struggling with that because it's a bodily urge. And Scorpio, if you've got any empathic anything going on, think of the tension that you might be picking up, not just from those around you, but for everyone on planet Earth. We're getting stronger as empaths, right? Everybody's talking about there needs to be more empathy in the world, so why wouldn't they turn us up a notch? Let's get turned. What is the situation? What crosses you on the path? Decisions, life changers. Now, not so much the card of the Lovers, which is also a card of decision between the head, heart, and throat, right? The mind says this, the heart says this. What will you choose? Spit, swallow, or chew? This is Chokhmah, one of the spheres, actually, of the Kabbalistic tree of life, but here depicted as the Israeli goddess of desert winds, right? Like, which decision are you going to make? Now, if you're in a desert, the decision that you make will determine usually whether you live or die, right? Is the oasis a mile that way, or is it a mile that way? So if you go that way, you die, and that way you live, and you can't tell necessarily. The Eight of Blades is that thing, you know, blindfolded and bound, you know, Rider-Waite Eight of Swords. So you might not know. You might be in this place of a little bit of a mental stalemate because not all the pieces of the information are on the table. But that's the process that you are in right now. So you're getting all the pieces of the information, and there's something of the erotic going on here. Look, I don't think we're really in a place anymore on planet Earth where repression is working. It's either gonna do this. You're either gonna do the shadow work and heal what needs to be healed. And they're saying this is not just about sexuality. This is about all sorts of different things that we've been repressing for a long time, rather than being possessed by it and having it take over and do things we regret. Because it's really not us doing it. It's the pain working itself out. That there is a way to heal this, right? And that's what the path of true love is all about, sweetheart. Let's get a clarity. My Ascended Masters, please clarify this Eight of Blades for my Scorpios. July 2020 or timeless. Bad choices. Oh my God, with the card of decisions. So you could be looking over bad choices, or you could be looking over the decision, right? Trying to make a decision and just realize, like, these all suck. Like, all of these choices suck from your point of view. Well, unless, yeah. Let's just keep moving on. I know exactly how far I can get away from what I can get away with on YouTube now. I may be dumb, but I ain't that dumb. Thank you, Bette Midler. I love you so much. What's at the core of this? Because, yeah, we know. We get it. It's like you're getting resolution while you're looking at all of these kind of crapo choices. But inside of you is the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Flames. You are on fire, right? Like, Eight of Flames. This card is called Burnout. Yes, I'll grant you sometimes burnout on the inner, and this might be for a lot of you. Actually, you're just so tired, so overcommitted. You keep saying yes when you need to say no. But if you look at the Eight of Wands in any other deck, they're usually sailing through the air, which is rapid moving fire, like a forest fire. Now, not my favorite image. I think I'm pretty much 1/8 dryad. You know, they don't have a 23andMe for that yet. So there's definitely nicer images for that, but the idea of a forest fire, like just sweeping through, that kind of passion, that kind of moving. So look, you can try and deny this. That might be one of your choices. Like, let me just deny and repress for the rest of my life. But let's see what the Masters have to say about the quality of this. Please, Ascended Masters, clarify this Eight of Flames, the card of burnout, rapid, high passion, creativity, sexuality, with that card of the erotic in the present moment. Please, what you got? Please clarify for the Scorpio collective. Oh dear, you've been in drought. Well, you know what drought does to a wildfire, don't you? Oh my God, everything is Tinder. Swipe left, swipe right. Oh my God. It's going down. I'm yelling Tinder. You better move. You better dance. Oh my God, I just Kesha'd us. That was complete. I didn't wake up this morning thinking I was going to get Kesha'd today. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So yeah, I mean, you're kind of feeling sex starved. Or at least your creativity and your sexuality is not getting the room that it needs, the emotional juice, the element of water, the support, the love that it needs. That deserves more love, not less, but it doesn't mean that you have to act on it in ways that are unhealthy to you, or for that matter, and should go without saying without anybody else. But in this time, let's just remember the boundaries there, shall we? Where are you coming from here? The Star. So you've been following your guidance and grace. I'm telling you right now, if you think you've done something wrong, you haven't. You've been following your guidance and grace all along. There's nothing wrong with you wanting what you want. The card of the Star is about looking up and making a prayer and hoping things get better. And then the next thing that happens, whether you realize it or not, whether you accept it or not, is the next step towards gaining at least that hope, that clarity, that guidance, that grace coming through you. And then once you're through it, you look back and go, couldn't have happened any other way. But you're in it. You're in it now. And I get the mental part of it, but honey, this is a divine energy thing. Now that we've got you involved prayer or something, you involved something of the Star, a wish, a dream, not... in other words, if this is purely erotic, sexual that you're dealing with, not so much the intimacy and the emotional part of it, because it's all part of the path of true love. if you've got sexual guilt and shame and blame, systemic, tribal, whatever, that needs more love, not less, right? That's totally in an energy field yeah. So if you made the prayer, you might very well be going through the necessary energetic detox through the emotions that have been in your cell tissue that, if you are empathic, might not even be yours. The emotions might very well be from people you grew up with. When they say children are sponges, yeah, but energetic sponges too. That's how we take on the patterns of our parenting and our families and all of that. And then as we grow, heal, and evolve and heal all that stuff, we're not just clearing it for ourselves, we're holographically clearing it for the whole planet. And as a Scorpio representing the underworld, the unconscious mind, even more so. Just passing my crown chakra around like it's open mic night at karaoke. Can we get a card, please, my masters, to clarify this card of the star for them? Trust. The healing card of trust. This is totally a test of trust. You made the prayer. You said, please, God, just please. God is all that is. I want a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, satisfying sex life. And yeah, you're in that process. Now, I believe I'm hearing the garbage men in the neighborhood. If I need to pause this, I will, because it gets a little loud as the dumpster is like right outside my window, about 20 to 30 feet from here, but we'll see. Okay, that's where you are and where you've been. Let's look at where you're heading in a way. What is the crown card? What is crowning this Scorpio? My favorite card in the deck, Three of Pentacles. Clay woman takes the dirt beneath her feet, makes something beautiful and practical, but has yet to put it in the kiln for hardening. Right? So it's the molding of the clay. It's getting your hands dirty. Oh, that takes a different context in this one, don't it? Can you please tell us here, my Ascended Masters? Ascended Masters will talk about sex. Are you kidding? They're Ascended Masters. There's nothing stuffy about at least the ones I've run into. They seem like lovely people, really. Going on out there? Oh, you're about to hear a lot of noise. It's not terrible though. Just breathe. My Ascended Masters, please, one card in clarity for the Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for July 2020 or timeless. Please clarify this Three of Pentacles clay woman that crowns them. Risk. Also a healing card. So look, you've got the erotic, which is a luck card, two problem cards, bad choices and drought. You might very well just be looking at all the bad choices that you've made and as a result coming to some resolutions about your erotic energy, which is lovely. But in the past, you made the prayer, you followed your star, you trusted your guidance, your grace. So don't freak out too heavily about it, because here you are being given what's coming immediate, kind of, sort of, is because crowning, like what's crowning you, like a baby crowning coming out. Can't see the whole thing, just the top of the head. There is a risk coming, but it's a risk of you getting your hands dirty, your feet, your fingers, your feet in the clay, your feet in the sand, your hands in the clay, molding, sculpting, but not necessarily a finished product, a beginning stage. So yeah, but it's a healing risk. It's not just, risking your health. It's saying, well, I'm gonna take a risk here and not overshoot your boundaries, but lean into them a little bit. It's a garbage truck without the loud boop, boop, boop backup noise. I'm so excited. Gods are with me. God, this lockdown has really gotten me to appreciate the small things in life. Where are we going with this? What's before you? Now, the Ace of Flames, also known as the Ace of Clubs, yes, it is the Ace of Clubs, but the Ace of Wands, yeah, go look at that in the Rider-Waite deck. Swing. We are looking at an ignition here. Creation is the word. Now, that can be very, very sexual, very, very sensual, so it feels like from this getting your fingers in the clay, and it is a Three of Pentacles that's crowning you. This is probably something action, physical oriented. Your pilot light gets rebooted. You go from a 10 of blades in the present moment, the card that covers you, to the One of Flames, what's before you on the path. Creation and creativity. It can be a new sexual attraction, although that can usually manifest itself as a 2 as well, but it's that second chakra go like Cookie Monster. Sometimes it goes What is the card that clarifies? Then he turns his attention to Ascended Masters. My Ascended Masters, can you clarify this one for the Scorpios? No, that's too many. Please, just one. That was me, not them. One for the Scorpios. Put it right in my hand. Doubt. Of course there's going to be doubt. Of course you're going to doubt it. It's probably going to happen relatively fast, is my sense of it, Scorpios. Yes, you're so powerful emotionally that you can kind of jump quantum fields a little more quickly than the average water sign. So as a result of this risk, something happens and you have your doubts about it. And that's okay. That is okay, considering you are in this place of coming from this place, at least, of all these decisions. There's going to be an impulse, and it's okay to doubt it, because we're not, because of the nature of the thing too. This isn't just about what flavor ice cream I want. This is what do I want to put in my mouth. Let's keep going. What is the lesson here? Your lesson is the Scorpio card, your own frickin' sign. So this is about you being authentic. This is about you learning about yourself. This is about learning about something deep within you. Now, the day I hear a Scorpio, or really anybody say, "Oh no, I know myself," I'm like, really? You done? Really? Why are you still here? No, the collective unconscious, we are all one with that too. The collective unconscious, all that is, right? We're all one. This is a deep mystical thing. This is Kate, the goddess of witches, the queen, the crown of the crossroads, man. Big decision time here, and you are learning how to do it. So look, I'll tell you right now, don't freak too much if you can't make this decision right now. You're being taught how to make this decision. If you knew how, you would have made it. Please clarify, my delicious Ascended Masters, for this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Their lesson is totally makes sense with everything else going on here, that they get on some level. Their erotic energy is spiritual energy, but there's a lot of belief system stuff in here. But it's okay for them to doubt that as it starts to reactivate the Kundalini moving through them. Look up Kundalini stuff, right? If you're into the yoga thing. So please clarify for the Scorpio. It's all about the push me, pull me, darling. It is. It totally makes sense. But the push me, pull me may not be external. It might be inside of you. One foot on the gas, one foot on the brake. It's like, I want to, but. And it's not, I'm telling you, it's not a war between an angel on one side and a demon on the other, right? Sitting on your shoulder. This is about a natural energy, a chakric manifestation of Kundalini, a sacred spiritual clearing out with a lot of cobwebs of past experience, past belief, a lot of fear. We all have them, but that's the thing. If you're like, I don't know why I'm going through this, it's because you're helping everyone clear it. And keep in mind, creative energy and sexual energy are the same thing. Yes, procreative in that one sense, but that's also why thunder only happens when it's raining, and players only love you when they're playing. You know what I mean? It's a second chakra thing, all that creativity. So yeah, you're learning how to deal with this push me, pull me. And really, my way of dealing with it, and this is just me as a Pisces, I talk to both fish. One that pushes, one that pulls, and I let them have their voice. In other words, I let myself feel all of that, and little by little it resolves and it balances out. That can be similar to what's going on here in your cover card with the rattle, the 10 of blades, the passing of the talking stick, allowing all of the different voices within yourself. And by voices on a mental level, I get that sounds a little odd, but maybe those are the voices of the emotions, the feelings, the desires within you. This could very much be shadow work, which really they should teach shadow work to Scorpios, I guess, at like age 18. And it's like, okay, you're an adult now, at least legally. Here's the Shadow Effect by Debbie Ford, right? Start you off on the movie, right? Like a little primer. Go watch it. From the outside looking in, how does your path look right now? Well, 10 of Cups, Inanna's House of Heaven, divine type traveling hot, interdimensional hot tub, yay, 5th dimensional and above, I'll bring the margaritas. Fabulous, but that's from the outside looking in. This might look like an emotional overflow, and I don't get the bad vibe on it, but let's just, before we go any further, my masters, please, could you please clarify this ecstasy card, the Ten of Cups for this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? How does their path appear from the world? Yeah. This is, by the way, your second 10, right? You got the 10 of Blades to start off with. So here you have the 10 of Cups from the outside looking in, a horizontal trajectory. In other words, not from above. That's what the reading is. This is horizontally how the world sees it. So with self-consciousness, your path might very well be like, there's a lot of emotion here, but with a lot of self-conscious. Like, am I okay? Is this wrong? Am I being dirty? Am I being naughty? And the problem with those words is not so much what they mean to people, but that we use them with children in terms of their sexuality. I was raised like, oh, that's so dirty. Oh, that's so naughty. But, as you get older, it's like, yeah, I know. Right? So maybe, really the self-consciousness part of this. Look, we're all asked to play roles that are not endemic to the truth of who we are. I mean, that's just society for you, right? And when you find a role that is endemic to who you are, it's called authenticity, right? Expressing itself. But we all grow and change, we all grow and evolve. I was such a bad boy. Hell, my nickname is Mal. It means evil in a bunch of different languages. And I was hell on earth as a teenager. And in my 30s, come a different kind of hell in different ways, right? We grow, we heal, we evolve. And that's the path of true love for you, right? So get that what you're feeling might very well be this divine current. And one could even say of ecstatic true love, wanting to move through your nervous system as erotic energy. I mean, it's divine energy. Oh, your destiny right now comes from what I say, the Two of Flames. Comes from a sexual attraction, or at least a creativity. Can there be indecision with the Two of Flames? Absolutely. Do I want to do this, or do I want to do this? And there is this repetitive thing here I'm getting about a decision. But inside of you, this Eight of Flames, right? This burnout, this raging fire. You got to do something with it, but on the outside, because this is sort of the inner, right, the core, your destiny on the hero's journey right now is about handling. Such a good way of saying it. Handling all of that fire, all of that passion. It's very Piper Halliwell first season of Charmed, right? It's like she's just blowing stuff up by accident, right? So there is a massive opportunity here for you to channel this sexuality and this creativity. It's going to take a risk. Oh my God, take the risk of using it creatively in some way, right? In the bathroom, in the bedroom, in the kitchen, in the studio, however. But it's going to be a risk, but maybe that's a creative risk that no one needs to know about right away, right? Process more than product, right? So my Ascended Masters, would you please clarify this? I'm loving this reading. It certainly has its ups and downs. Which reading doesn't? Can you please clarify this Two of Flames Mahueha in their destiny position, the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs? Using. Like, what are you using? Are you thinking of people as things? Are you using things as people? Right? There's all sorts of ways of how we use and are used. Definitely something to keep your eye on. Now, I do understand you're Scorpios, right? And there is that darker side. You guys are directly connected to one of my gods, symbolized by this lovely little silver bracelet I have on here. The Lord Hades, Lord of the Underworld. Honey, he's married. His wife's away for half the year. What do you think goes on down there, right? Think he just represses and waits? Maybe he does, or maybe they have an agreement, right? But in terms of using people, there is a darkness there. To me, and this I got from Terry Pratchett, I've been saying it a lot this week, don't know why. The book Carpe Jugulum, I say Carpe Jugulum, Seize the Throat. It's about vampires and witches. Brilliant, brilliant fiction. But in it, Terry Pratchett says, I think the first time I ever read it, evil begins with the idea of people being things. Thinking of people as things. Now, everybody does, but what do you do once you have that thought? Like, what is it, your choice that you make, right? The idea exists, but what do you do when the idea comes into your field? Will you use people, or are you looking at a way of turning that around and using this energy, like I said, for this sort of creative process? Let's see, what's your outcome? Ace of Cups. Excellent, 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 excellent. So you've got 2 aces and 2 tens. You're going to get the resolution you want. Your first card down is about resolution, at least mentally. So your outcome is a new beginning here, and one that holds the potential for happiness. Now, it might be that Well, yeah, I hear that too. I don't know that I can say that on YouTube. But let's just say the emotional relief that comes from certain types of hormonal release. Is that an okay one? Let's see if I'm still monetized when this hits for this particular video. Let's let, please, my Ascended Masters, such an monsters, are such interesting people. What do you got for the Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love, July 2020, with that outcome card of the Ace of Cups? You got the intimacy card. You got the intimacy card, one of the luck cards. Oh my God. So yeah, it feels like the emotional part of it's going to be there. It feels like stuff will be touched one way or the other. But to, you know, trust that you know, here you are trusting, and you're getting the beginning of it at least. You're actually kind of getting the beginning of it twice here. So make sure you have a wet nap handy. I know I'm ridiculous. It's my guides. It's them. I have hordes, HORDES, of Dead Catskill comics crowding my crown chakra right now. Of course you're going to have doubts about it, but it's going to work. You better work. You better work. Well, what an interesting Celtic cross. I'm not dropping you off there, though. We've got 2 more cards to hit the table to help you cope with all of this, because, honeys, I get it. Oh, honey, I get it. The seal may not be broken yet, but I have a feeling you may be kissed from a rose. I made a seal pun. They're rare. Breathe. Met Heidi Klum once. She's gorgeous. She's just gorgeous. Right after she divorced him, too. Beautiful. She liked my jewelry. Breathe. Here we go. My Ascended Masters, my guides, please put me in touch with the higher selves of all involved, the Tantric division if possible. Higher selves of all involved, please. 1 card for the Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I know Whisper of Love from the Whisper of Love Oracle for them. This is a very highly charged vibe going on here, but yet they are in retreat, and they've got this archetypal power of the prince that they are alchemizing. Will they use their power for self-aggrandizement, or will their romantic charm and potential for prayer mature, be expressed in a happy, healthy way? Wise. My Ascended Masters for the Scorpios, July 2020, timeless, path of true love. Speak the language of love. L'amour, l'amour. Singing orange. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. Now, one thing I would recommend is maybe start that off with talking to your heart chakra and then subsequent chakras going lower, right? Like inner child work, but talking to your desire. Yeah, like talking to all the voices within, but you know, the second chakra sacral voice, get hungry, right? That may be, there might also be a voice of drought in there. It's going, some neglect going on in there, right? So to speak to that, to let it have its voice, as well as, of course, with other people on the path of true love. Speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. Makes sense? Makes sense indeed. Let's get you a healing mantra card from the Healing Mantra deck by KAHN, so that you have something to work. That's what I'm putting in the title, is the name of the mantra. One side is the name of the mantra, the other the mantra itself, and I will read you the paragraph or 2 that's in the bookie book. Breathe. Once again, my Ascended Masters on the path of true love, about the path of true love, in charge of the path of true love, please, 1 card in clarity. What is the perfect healing mantra for this Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for July 2020, or timeless whenever they're watching this? You gave us these really clarifiers, cards here with the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. So please, one is considering what they're going through, considering the pressure. That might not be all them, but empathic. What is the best healing mantra for this Scorpio Collective Sun? This one, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love, July 2020, or timeless. Inspiring others. I bet you're good at it. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging my gifts. My, you're gifted. Lovely, 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 lovely. I think you got, I mean, didn't Libra, oh right, Libra got a lot of true love stuff. It feels like you're getting the more recreational aspect. Inspiring others. Woof. I am, oh, sorry, wrong one. Inspiring others. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. When others are inspired, you allow them to take center stage and step into a greater acknowledgement of their personal power. When others are made to feel useful, they are likely to embrace more courageous decisions as their self-worth increases. Imagine the perfection of not having to do everything by yourself. Infusing others with a greater sense of purpose just by asking for their help. It's not a matter of feeling weak or being incapable. Instead, it's about realizing the gift of inspiration you possess simply by inviting others to be a part of your life. How you doing? This mantra is ideal for increasing intimacy. Last card down. In relationships, resolving martyrdom. I haven't been touched in so long. Gathering dust. And communicating your needs. Could this be more on the frickin' nose? Well, yeah, it's the frickin' nose, all right. So that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. There are so many puzzle pieces here that make sense. I'm just going to go right into overview, and we'll see how it all clicks together, shall we? Nice deep breath. Magic clap. Because you start off as, well, either you, someone you're dealing with, or the situation itself. It can be all of that, any combination, with the Prince archetype, the soul power of the Prince in its shadow, using power for self-aggrandizement, the light attribute, romantic charm, and potential for power. And I get that. It's like this huge phallic potential, masculine energy, potential for power, regardless of your gender. It doesn't matter. We all have masculine, feminine energy. The angel that's helping you here, though, is retreat. So it does feel like this is more about retreat to the world behind your eyes. Go into the castle of the soul, pull up the drawbridge, do the work, embrace the shadow, whatever that process is, more yin than yang, at least in terms of the angelic healing available to you, which does make sense in the card that covers you being the Ten of Blades, a card of mental resolution, of different voices being heard, grievances being aired, ideas being shared, although this may all be within yourself with that card of retreat, particularly in terms of dealing with the erotic energy going on in your life, which is represented here by one of the luck suit. So if you're not feeling so lucky about this, get that there is something lucky perhaps about the timing of this, or that it had to take a while to get to this stage of a 10, so where that it's a lucky moment of resolution if you play your cards right. That's not the best metaphor for it, but I think you know what I'm saying, because the situation that you're in, you probably have to make some kind of decision here about your erotic energy, about your sexuality, or your sexual relationships in some way, shape, or form. But what's crossing that is bad choices, which I don't feel like the situation is a bad choice. I think that you've made bad choices before, because that's how you learn how to make good choices, is by making bad choices. Please, my type used to be, neck tattoo. Nothing wrong with a neck tattoo, but when it comes with a bad credit score and a dependency on a chemical substance, little tricky. I call that a bad choice, and yet the soul sees no bad choices. It's all experience, learning, wisdom, and growth on the path of true love. So take that into consideration from your soul's point of view. It couldn't have happened any other way, which is another mantra from the mantra deck here. And what's going on inside of you now is the drought with the Eight of Flames, which is kind of an amazing metaphoric, though terrifying combination, right? Because what creates forest fires are droughts. So there's a possibility for rapid inflammation here, like in FLAME, or burnout to the point where you get possessed by this, or you just reduce yourself to ash and then rise from them. I'm not seeing that, but it does feel like this repression of the Eight of Flames, considering you have the Ace of Flames in your future, what's before you on the path, with doubt. It's all, oh, you've got drought and doubt with your fire elements here. You have any other fire? And using, so you've got three fire cards here. Let's keep moving, because that's what's going on inside of you, is that drought with that burnout. But it's coming from this place of trust in the star, right? Following your star with this hope that I'm going to follow my guidance and my grace, and this is something that I want. Now, with that, I'm also getting that what you probably did was intuitively picked up on the happy, healthy, wealthy, satisfying sex life that is waiting for you ahead in the future. It's more of an intuitive thing, not just a desire. This is a major arcana card of the star with trust. And that you'll make your way there, but you have to start making some creative risks. Now, it's only a Three of Pentacles. You just get your fingers in the clay. You maybe read some stuff, educate yourself, but get into the subject. That's why I always try and direct people into just like either basic Tantra, because Western esoteric sex magic is wonderful, but it's really complicated. It's like start with just basic chakra stuff, basic Tantra solo exercises and philosophy, right? Just dip a toe and give it some practical application. Three of Pentacles is definitely about an initial practical application here. The molding of the clay that has yet to go into the kiln to harden. And what comes from that is a new experience, a new inspiration, a new creation, a new impulse, a new desire, but carries with it the seeds of doubt, which does make sense because you've got bad choices here on the table as well as drought. And who has complete confidence in anything after moving through that? So give yourself at least a pat on the back for your resiliency of having survived all of this so far. Because then we have your lesson here, the push me, pull me with the Scorpio card, and you are a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. This is all going on inside of you. The intention and the counter intention, the doubt, right? The desire and the doubt, the wildfire and the drought. Well, that's just an Aaron spelling charm tradition spell waiting to happen, isn't it? I think it just did. So, go inside yourself, embrace the shadows, but learn how to do it. Just don't do it all at once. There's no such thing as that anyway. It's all a journey. But you might very well find yourself retreating into the underworld. That doesn't mean hell, but your underworld, when it hasn't been tended to, can get a little hellish fire, brimstone, and sulfur, if you get what I'm saying. From the outside looking in, you are someone who is having the opportunity to experience the 10 of Cups, ecstasy, great, intense, not just emotional fulfillment, but real satisfaction, but with this self-consciousness, right? Constantly checking yourself. Like, what are you really afraid you're going to do, right? Self-consciousness can be about, how do I look? Do I have spinach in my teeth? I mean, that's normal. You don't want to talk to somebody with spinach in your teeth. God forbid. It's happened to all of us, I'm sure. Unless, you only eat bacon and then you have bacon in your teeth, which is just a step up, in my opinion. But that self-consciousness of, am I okay? Am I doing something wrong? That not just like first date self-consciousness. This is 10 of Cups. That on your path, you are really, really, really close to this immersion into a healing, I'll say, sacred sexual energy here, if you want to take it in that way. But where you are on the journey, you have this back and forth, this indecision, this Two of Flames, perhaps about a sexual attraction, that you are afraid of either using someone or being used. Now, as I've said many times before, I am a pagan. Duh, I'm a witch. I don't have the sexual guilt and shame of, let's just say, the traditions through which I was exposed to growing up in my family and in society. However, and ye harm none, do what ye will, though I am not Wiccan, I adopt the Wiccan read because it's just better than violating people's boundaries, right? And the quantum, right? Forget about karma. How about just we're all one? That's good enough reason to harm none. So, but that doesn't, and ye harm none, do what ye will, but if they beg you to do it, how can it be harm, right? It's like if everything's negotiable, everything's negotiable except some things, right? And that's highly individualized and personal, so I get the indecision, but really, if it's a thing about using someone, there are ways to heal that and do this with integrity and honor and healing that still has that darker, let's say, scorpionic, Plutonian edge. Oh, that was such a nice way of saying it, Mark. And your outcome here, come on. Ace of Cups, happiness with intimacy. You may not get all that in a side of fries, but you're going to get the opportunity to start building this, because this is going to take some time. If you really want, from the outside looking in, the immersion into that Ten of Cups, they're giving you an Ace of Cups with the start of happiness, probably inside of yourself, probably solo for a little bit, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be that way for long, because the higher self is saying, speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including yourself. And I do recommend some positive self-speak, right? Some talking with the inner child, talking with your inner sexual energy, if you wanted to imagine it as, I don't know, an energy field, or an older adolescent, you know, however it appears to you. And then, of course, that leads into this thing of inspiring others, the mantra, I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. So that speak the language of love to yourself is going to make it so much more comfortable for you to acknowledge the gifts of others, inspiring them, helping them heal, and possibly having someone to retreat into this Ace of Cups that will move into that Ten of Cups with you, either for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Scorpio, work! Yes, there is work. You better work. You better shadow work. Oh, I want that copyrighted drawing the circle protect. You better shadow work. Yeah, no, RuPaul will come for me, and she is Scorpio. I'm not going there. This is a really, really, really cool reading. It is probably the most sexually overt one that I've done on YouTube in quite a while, but it's really, really good to see. So may the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, including their sexuality and their erotic energy, that they may learn what they have to learn, that they may experience and alchemize this prince archetype power within their lives in some way, shape, or form through retreat, speaking the language of love and inspiring others, so that they can really clear some of that doubt and water that drought and get into the groove, baby, so that they can prove their love to themselves for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Please, Madonna's lawyers, don't come for me. It was stream of consciousness. It wasn't intended to be anything other than guidance and grace. Otherwise, hi, Madonna. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed. Please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment below. Otherwise, my darlings, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.